What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today. And today I have a guest that I know you all are excited to see, my fellow brother, Vahagraphy. Well, Vahagen from Vahagraphy. How you doing today?
Good, man. Yeah, man. First of all, thank you for having me, Ryan. I
Hey
appreciate it,
man,
man. Happy to be
no
here.
problem. This is something that I've been waiting to do for a while. A lot of people, I'm not sure if y'all know, but me and Vahagen already we had a talk. Was that your first Vahagraphy talk, or was it your second one?
Uh,
Well, us
it,
three
it,
did it.
yeah, I think it was the early times. One of the first ones.
Yeah,
I
one of
did.
the
I
first
did a
ones.
talk. I did a talk, but I didn't really call it Vahagraphy Talk.
Right.
So I just labeled it Vahagraphy Talk with Christopher Becker. But yeah, it was one of the first ones.
Right. Nice. Now, one thing that I want to do is I want to dive into, it's a few things I want to dive into with you. First and foremost, I just want to know, when did you start photography and what brought you into photography?
Well, when I started photography, actually, I started videography. My
Oh,
dad, yeah, my dad was a photographer, and I did the video. And this was 1992. I was a little boy and did the videos for his wedding clients. And it was funny because I would go in, and the groom would say, "Hey, is this kid gonna record my wedding video?" And my dad's like, "Don't worry about it. He's got this." So yeah, so I did the video for a while, and then when my dad retired from photography, I kind of like went from video to photo.
gotcha. Okay, so you've been in the wedding space. You are a full-time photographer, correct?
Yeah, full time. That's all I do is take pictures for a living, weddings mostly, uh, and I just have a good time doing it. But I'm liking the portrait stuff, and and trying to experiment with other types of photography. Mostly weddings
Okay.
and portraits, though.
Now, when you first started, like what pushed you into, doing wedding photography? I know that that's where the big bucks are. Me myself, I stay away from weddings just because for me it's just I get nervous when it's time to do it. I think that's a huge job. So, like, what pushed you into weddings?
Well, my dad, but I guess I guess when photography's been in my family for forever, and it was just second nature to me to you know take pictures at weddings, and you know I guess I just have fun doing it. I love the atmosphere. I love that everybody's happy and dressed up, and in my younger single days, I used to like the women at weddings. So I'd
Right,
say,
right,
what, let me go and socialize, because I like to socialize. And but in my high school days, I was in a band, and a rock band. that
okay,
was that was my first love of being, my dream was to be a rock and roll musician, touring the world, this and that. We toured the club circuit, but since that didn't happen, I said, what, let me fall back on what I know, is
right.
photography. So since my
Do
dad
you
was doing
still
weddings, since
got
my
you?
dad was doing weddings, I just said, what, let me try wedding photography.
So, do you still actually like? Do you still play the drums to this day?
Yeah. uh Dude, let me tell you something. The drums are my outlet. It's
Okay.
stress relief. Just imagine you're just banging on those drums. All your tension, and it's a good workout too, man. You're just jamming, and I love music. I
Right.
love music, so it's just a big part of my life, and it inspires me to take pictures. Believe it or not.
Nice. That's really good. Now let's go into this. When it comes to our channels, because I'm not sure if you know, what you should know. Vahagraphy Vahagen, he has his own YouTube channel, and he is also a fellow Nikon shooter. Now, I seen a video where you showed you show like your old film Nikon cameras and
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. So did you start with Nikon?
Okay, so not weddings, but I started my photography journey started in high school with a Nikon F3, the 35 millimeter film camera. But when I started weddings, it was video. So,
Nice. Gotcha.
but
And
my first, I did film at weddings before digital. I was shooting with a 6x6 Hasselblad Mamiya
oh wow.
C220 twin
Okay.
reflex camera. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. And then now where we are with Nikon, we have a well, before I get to that, let's go to this. Your wedding, the cameras that you take when you shoot your weddings, right? You go two bodies, correct?
I do 3 bodies now.
Oh wow. Explain this. Can we get your setup on how you do this?
Sure, sure. So my D4 is with me. That's my workhorse. Hoping, that excuse me. Hoping that the Nikon Z9 will retire my D4.
Right.
But time will tell. So I got a D4 D800 slash D850, depending on what I feel that day, and I have a Z6. So,
And do
those
you
3
use your
bodies.
Z6 at weddings?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Okay.
all the time. Right now, I'm using at weddings. I use the 51.8 Z lens and the
Okay.
14 to 30 Z lens. I like to keep that wide angle on the majority of the time because I don't really shoot super wide shots at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
But if I see that I need to shoot a super wide shot, I don't really want to slap on another lens on the DSLR. I just have it ready to go with my Z6. So I just pick up the
Right.
Z6 and start shooting a wide shot, drop it, and then I can continue on with my DSLRs. However, I really want to start shooting mirrorless more, 24 to 70, 7200 soon. So I think the first domino for me to fall is the Z9. So just waiting on that.
Right. And
See what
that is
happens.
a camera that I'm probably not going to get, but I would love to see all of the content that, people like you are going to put out with that. I
Why
just
not,
don't,
man?
I don't feel like that camera has a place for me. It's more lenses. And I know you are real big on glass over bodies because we spoke about you getting the Z7 too. And you was like, you had a story. You said you was going to buy it, but you ended up buying the lens.
Yep.
So I'm at that point where, my camera's still new. I just bought my Z7 II, I think in February. And then I also have a Z6 II, but I want a 70 to 200 lens. I don't
2.8,
have that yet. Yeah. So I
That's a
feel
beast.
that's more important. Yeah. To me. And then, because like I said, I want to get into wedding photography. But without that lens, I don't think that I should, Would you?
Without that lens?
Without that
7
lens. Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. You can totally use the 85 1.8 for portraits. Honestly, bro, I use the I use the 7200 lens, not the Z. I have the G, but I use that lens for portraits. So, and you could totally do weddings with an 85Z, and it won't
Really?
cost you much. $700, $800. You don't need a 7200.
I have
You
that
know?
lens. I have that 85, but this is
See?
my thing. When I do weddings, right? I don't like to be that guy that is like right on the bride and groom where you know what I mean? And that when I did weddings, that's what I did. And I felt I was in everybody's way. But I feel if you have a 70 to 200, you could kind of be behind and not really feel like you're in the way. That's the thing I'm worried about. What do you think about that?
Okay. Well, okay. Majority of the banquet halls, even the 7200 is not enough if you want to be out of the way. Trust me. When you're shooting weddings, chances are that you're shooting at bigger banquet halls, and you have to. I mean, you're doing your job, man. I really don't care about getting in people's way. As long as you're there taking a picture and just moving on,
Right.
I know some guys, they take, they just stand there and they don't move. I take guests into consideration, and I take my shots and I move to the side. I go out, take my shots, I move to the side. So, bro, 85Z, you can shoot weddings. If you ever need any advice, I'll let you know, man. I've been doing them for years.
Right. So let's go into that. Now, right now we are currently in December, okay? And I know with me, my work is starting to slow down a bit. The colder months, I feel like work really slows down a bit. Now, do you experience, we all have our good months, and our bad months. Would this be considered, a bad month for you?
Well,
Well, the cold time in general?
um, are we talking, before 2020 or after the, COVID? Because,
Well, I was talking like
everything.
right now, but you can
Well,
touch on before COVID as well.
well, everything is right now. Everything is just so crazy with the
Hmm.
wedding business. It's like I said, you get calls. Like in the past, it would be okay. You know what we're doing. You know where we're going. You would have 300 people weddings. Now it's like you get clients call you. It's like, can you do a wedding with like 30 people? And I only need you for 4 hours. And it's like, okay, well, you need to stop and think, okay, I need to cater a package for the client. And it's like, I'm not really used to doing that because I'm setting my prices. And one thing with that is, Ryan, when you're used to getting a package price for weddings, it's like, okay, if I book your wedding for 4 hours and if I charge you a quarter of the fraction of the price that I'm used to getting, it's like, okay, well, I can't really take another gig that day. So it's kind of
Right.
hurts me too. As far as your question, um, the winter times usually, yeah, December slows down. That's why they have all these wedding conventions in February, because they know that there's really not weddings going on. But
Right.
someone's gonna get married, they're gonna have a wedding in December, January. But usually January, February, March is the slow period in weddings. April it picks up again.
Okay. So about April. Now, is it things that you would do to like supplement the income, or do you just try to save as much as possible to keep you going through the slow months, basically?
Yeah, I mean, I have certain friends that I have, relationships with, where like if they need my help, they need a shooter and they're in
Right.
my local market. If I'm not busy that day, if it's not a wedding, if it's a birthday party, if it's a, engagement party, or, proposal, whatever it is, they call me, I shoot the files and I give them the files. I don't edit nothing. So I have that going on year round.
Right.
And to touch back on that, I really like that. Actually, I really like being freelance, and I think my future, I think I really don't want. I want less headache in this business,
Hmm.
and I really like that business model where you go in, you shoot, you give them the files, and you're done, and you move on to your next gig. Yes, you don't make as much. It's like a
Right.
fraction of the price, but you
Right.
know what? Who needs the headaches, right? Who needs
Right.
Bridezilla's calling you? Where's my pictures? Where's this? And I have tons, tons of experience with that, man.
Right. So I definitely want to touch into that. You got a lot. Listen, Vahagen. I always want to call you Vahagraphy, but I know it's Vahagen. But it's just I love that play on words too, like the whole Vahagen Vahagraphy thing. Um, but
Thank you, man.
this is what I really want to go on. So, since you are a full time photographer, right? I want to know how. We all know that word of mouth is the best way to market yourself, right? But are there certain things that you do to market yourself in order to get more weddings, or do most of your weddings come from word of mouth?
Well, it would depend on when you'd ask me this question. Now, where I've been doing this for like what 20 plus years, I have my client base.
Hmm.
So now it's not a problem. Like a lot of clients that hire me, it's either their sisters getting married or their now daughters getting married
Right.
because I shot their parents' wedding. So it's like, I have repeat customers
Right.
and I have that going for me. New clients, as far as like marketing myself, yeah, I mean, I post on Instagram and Facebook and, this and that, people DM me and stuff like that. But it's mostly referrals, it's mostly past clients, relatives now in my, where I'm at.
Right.
But if you were to ask me how a new photographer would
Hmm.
want to get started, that's a whole different topic. And
Can we do that?
that's it.
Can we just for the, some newer wedding photographers that may, probably struggle to get some clients, can you just give them some advice on how you would go about them putting themselves out there in order
Okay,
to get some
sh-
clients?
sure. Well, let me ask you a question. Do they like this business?
They do.
They do.
We have it's so many photographers. I feel that they just get demotivated based on not getting the clients. They buy all of this gear, and then it's either people want to, lowball them and not pay them that much, or they just can't get anything good. So let's say this client loves the work, but they just can't get any clients, basically.
Okay. Well, God, this is such a big topic. I just don't know where to start from. But yeah, seriously, I mean, I can tell you right now that okay, so did they do the whole friends and relatives thing, and do they have a good portfolio that they can really like stand up and be proud about? Like, hey, this is my work. This, sell yourself basically. Let the images sell you.
Right.
There's photographers out there that they're so good in what they do. It's like they don't even say a word.
Hmm.
Oh man, I love your images. They're so
Right.
talented. Do these people that you're talking about, do they have that portfolio that just like speaks volumes, or they need to
Right.
brush up on their skills?
See, now, even if, let's say they don't. So, for one, let's take that as being the number one thing that they should do, right? That's where they should start, right? They should do the family, do the relatives thing. They should build their portfolio up. All right, that's the
Yeah.
beginning. That's where they
Yeah.
needs to start. So, you should, and I agree with that 100%.
So
Even
you go
friends, all
you
of that.
yeah, you build a killer portfolio. And I don't really care if you have to hire models.
Right.
Seriously.
I
People
agree.
don't know that Bright is a model.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But get professionals, hire models, get your portfolio to a level. Well, in order to do that, you got to get skills. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to brush up on your photography. If you're not taking good pictures, if you don't know lighting, if you don't know, all the basics of photography, learn that first before worrying about getting clients.
Mm-hmm.
Have a side hustle, have a side job that'll basically pay for your bills and your rent, but don't rely on weddings or just yet.
Right.
And as soon as you can brush up on your photography skills, as soon as you can, uh, you know, your photography is great and like just speaks volumes, then you can, the clients will come, guys. If you're new to weddings and you have killer, amazing, talented photos in your
Mm-hmm.
portfolio, you know, social media, post your images, tag your images, tag them. Uh, don't drop the ball on that, guys, because the new generation is all about hashtags, this, hashtag that. Do what you got to do to get your name out there. And one tip I can give a new photographer is that anything you do, you have a Mercedes, you're a young 21-year-old guy and you have a brand new Mercedes and you go to a car wash, get your car wash, right?
Right.
Hey, those people at the car wash need to get married. Those the
Yeah.
cash register, the cashier at the grocery needs to get married one day, or doesn't need to, but they will eventually if they might get married. So hey, I'm a photographer. You're buying meat at the local grocery. I'm a photographer.
Right.
You're going out shopping, Nordstrom at the cashier. I'm a photographer. Those are all high end people at that
Business
store.
cards.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and or Instagram. Hey, check out my work. Or
Mm-hmm.
even like, let's say for example, you're at a nice department store, you're shopping, right? And you have, pretty awesome like people there, and trendy people, and you go, you know what? I think you'll look great if I take a picture of you. Oh,
Right.
what? You're a photographer? Yeah. So conversation opens up. So when you start having a conversation with somebody, that's
Hmm.
advertisement right there. Hey, you know what? Guess what? I'm a photographer. Oh, guess what? That shirt looks really nice on you. Have you ever had a photo shoot done with that shirt on?
Right.
Or that shoes that you're selling me, or this and that? Basically, what I'm trying to say is whatever you do, I don't care what it is. Hey, I'm a photographer. Hey, I'm a
Right.
photographer. So get that. Yeah.
And this is my question, because it's a lot of people. Now we're talking about, keep in mind, we're talking about the beginning, the people that don't have that portfolio and things like that. Are you against people shooting for free just to develop that portfolio?
No, I'm not against it at all. I think that's the norm.
Right.
Where else are you going to start? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So basically, what I would do is, if I was starting now, is I would, first of all, number one, like I said, brush up on your photography skills. Number two, get good with your local photographer and say, hey, you know what? Let me come. Can I come assist you?
Right.
I have all the gear. I have a camera. Let me come second or third shoot for you for free. Let me do it for free. And
Right.
you can have all the images and see what you think.
Right.
And you know what? Half the battle is your photos, guys. Half the battle is your photos. The other half is the way you are in front of people, the way you're a go-getter. If your boss sees that you're just doing things and you're just just fiery, and you're happy to be there,
Mm-hmm.
he will hire you. He will say, wow, man, where have you been? And if you have the photos to back it up, more power to you. So don't always wait for your boss to tell you what to do. Take initiative and impress them. Do the work for free a couple of times, and then you can kind of tell when they're starting to take advantage of the situation,
Right.
because eventually, he's gonna want to give you $100, or
Right.
what the hell is this, dude? Is this? You look at the photos I'm giving you. Is this $100 worth of photos?
Right. Right.
Get the hell out of it. You gotta half the battle, not a battle, but half the thing with weddings is your skills. The other half is the way you sell yourself and the way you market yourself and the way you present yourself too. So
Right. All right. So before we wrap up, I always ask a final question, and I want to ask you this. Okay. When it comes to photography, what do you feel? And keep in mind that this is all opinion based. There's no right or no wrong answer, just what it means to you. What do you feel is the most important part of learning when it comes to photography?
when it comes to photography, the most important part of learning,
Yeah. In your opinion,
patience.
patience.
Yeah, patience.
Can you?
Because
Yeah, go ahead. I want you to give me your reason on it.
not only regarding your skills as a photographer, because the results that you get, maybe the results that you're getting in the beginning, they make you quit. Say, what the hell is this? I'm not liking what I'm doing. I'm a failure, this and that. The most important thing that new photographers can do is have patience. It will come around. Like I heard you mention Kobe Bryant in your latest video,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in LA, so
Yeah.
when you said that, I was like, yeah. Hey, I'm a big fan of the Lakers, bro,
Yeah, I love the Lakers.
but not the current Lakers. I
Because you don't
the
like
current
LeBron.
Lakers. Not only that, bro, and I know you're from Ohio, right?
Yeah, I live in
So
Ohio now. Yeah, I'm not originally
not
from here, but yeah.
not because of LeBron, dude. I'm a I'm a Laker fan, but I'm
Right.
not like a current Laker fan.
Gotcha.
I go from the Kobe, Shaq. Shaq's my man. Shaq, baby.
Right,
Shaq's
right.
the man. But anyway, Kobe or any like basketball player, they didn't get to where they're at without practicing. And it's same thing with photography. So you need to put time into it, patience. You know how much patience Kobe had, like when he Yeah, and I know Kobe, man. I've seen him live many times, and rest in
You're
peace, man.
lucky.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. But when I heard the news, I was driving and it was foggy that day. Not to change the topic, but
Oh no, you're
it
good.
was it was foggy that day, and I was thinking about, wow, this is I've never seen this much fog.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving on the freeway in LA, and I was like, and this is LA, and his accident happened about 30 miles north of where I was.
Mm.
I couldn't even see like feet up from my car. It was that bad. And I was like,
Right,
and it was like, let alone a helicopter. Like,
right,
oh,
right,
dude, what the hell, man? What a sad loss. This could have been prevented. The guy was a genius. The guy was brilliant. The guy was motivational. I don't even play basketball, but he motivated my photography, if you can believe that. I mean,
right.
the guy was it for me. But as far as that, yeah, motivational, patience. Just have patience, guys. You're a new wedding photographer. See if you like the business. See if it's for you. Long hours. You might not like that. You might like the paycheck. You
Right.
might like that. But you know what? Hey, you can make money in weddings. You can make
Mhm.
money in weddings if you're good with photography, if you're good with, if you're a people's person, you're nice, you do things with a smile.
Right.
I don't see any reason why you won't be successful, because I'll tell you right now, in my market, there's a lot of photographers, and the wedding market is just crazy here.
Right.
But
Right.
I'll be honest with you, Ryan, there's only a fraction of those photographers that are any good. Like,
Right. Right.
seriously, they all do generic wedding photography, but there's this little pool of photographers that say, wow, this guy's a real, like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Right.
And if you can somehow, squeeze in the door of that circle, there's sky's the limit for you. You know what I mean? And have a little
Mhm.
bit of a personality. Don't be like, dry personality. Be crack jokes once in a while.
Right.
You see a client that's nervous or doesn't really smile that much. Find out what they're into, bro. Let me tell you a story real quick.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Yep.
So when we're like, I had a client, and I do photo shoots too. Like, I do, photo shoots and people like that. So I had a guy. I got to know him where when I'm interviewing somebody for a job, I
Mhm.
like to ask them some personal questions, like, hey, what are you into? What do you like
Right.
to do? I want to see if we have anything in common. So the guy was a golfer. So I find out that he's a big time, he loves to go to golf courses and play golf. I'm not into
Mhm.
golf. I think it's boring, but no, honestly, it's cool. Maybe when I'm 80, but so I find out that he loves golf. So we're at a photo shoot. I'm doing headshots for his business, and I see that I'm not getting anywhere with like facial expressions, and he's really serious, and I'm like, yeah, this and that. So I go, okay, well, I gotta break the ice somehow with this guy. So I'm like, David, give me a smile like you just hit a hole in one, man. And dude, the guy was just like,
Right.
I click, 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 click. Dude, I got like magic shots out of that. So get to know your
Right.
clients, have a personality. They love that. Even if you can't tell jokes, get to know them, and you know, those one-liners help.
Right. Now, I know I said that was going to be my last question, but I want to. When you said that, it made me think of this. If you guys don't know, Vahagen has his own Vahagraphy talk where he gets people, and I feel that's probably a big because you land nice people, especially for like the size that you are, and you grew so much. These past couple of weeks, these past couple of months. And I think that your ability, like your personality and everything, just how you said, how you know your clients and stuff like that, is the reason why you've been able to land such big people. Because at the end of the day, you're a good person. You know how to speak to people. You know how to, get the things that you want. So this has been great. I appreciate you coming on. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
definitely, man. Thank you for having me. But I mean, like I said, there's so much like there's so much to be said about, because everybody has their point. Like, you need to sell yourself in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a photographer, you're great, right? Like, let's say Stacy, she wants to be a photographer, she's a great photographer. Anybody could be a great photographer, but you need to sell yourself. People are not only hiring you to be there to take photos. They're hiring you because they love you, because they love your personality. And you don't know how many times clients have actually told me, I could care less if you're taking. I just want you to be there because I know if you're there, yeah, everything will go smooth. So,
Right.
like, I've had that kind of confidence from
Right.
clients. They thought I was this like leader of a, band or something, like a front man. You got to be a
Mm-hmm.
front man in this. You got to like entertain the crowd too, man. Like, because you're there, everybody's looking at you. At weddings, everybody's looking at you. Even
Mm-hmm.
coordinators looking at you. They're saying, well, what do we do next? Who do they go for when they want to talk to somebody? Who do they actually go for when they need, like, okay, what do we do next? It's the coordinator, but it's the photographer, because without the photographer's green light, you cannot move on with the day, So have a good personality, getting good with the vendors, give vendors their images, tag them. That's a whole nother video, but yeah,
And patience.
there's so much you can do, Ryan, in weddings, man. And once you
Right.
start tapping into that high-end client, you'll love the paycheck. You'll love the response you get. So, yeah, man.
That is what I'm going to try to tap into next year. I want to get into weddings. And if I have any questions, you and Ike, because Ike does a lot of weddings as well, y'all are going to be the two people that I ask when it comes to a lot of y'all actually both on the West Coast as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the biggest thing I could tell you, Ryan, is that, look,
Mhm.
you have a guy, okay, and he does, he's telling the bride what to do. Okay, he has this like monotone personality, and it's really not, the bride's not really having fun with them. But what you have, Ryan, you have that special magic in you. You have that trait that you can actually be friendly with them. You can actually touch on current events. You can
Right.
actually compliment somebody. You can actually, get to know somebody. You have that. So that's a very important thing to have in this business. So sell yourself. That's the most important thing. Let your pictures do the talking, but your personality was going to be the one to take you over the finish line and ultimately get those big checks from clients. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, guys, and before I go to, everything is before I go.
Bro,
I'm going to see you at WPPI, right?
Yeah. When is it?
It is February 27th to March 3rd.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All
Definitely.
All
Hey,
right.
we'll make videos over there, bro.
Definitely.
We'll make
As
videos.
always,
Hey, you know what
rock
though?
and roll.
Before you go,
Before we go,
before I go,
I'm
let me
going to
just
name this video before you go.
before we go, I just want to tell you what a great job you're doing, Ryan. I
Oh, man.
look
Thank you.
forward to your videos, and you have everything down. Your quality is up there. You have this superb quality in your videos, your post-production, the way you come off. You're a very calm guy, soothing, voice, and people like that.
Right.
Even people like that. And as photographers, you and me both, as YouTubers now, people they log in and they watch our videos, not only about what we're talking about, they like to hear us, they like to be there, they like to experience it. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of feel like they're part of something,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that. You know what I mean? I started Vahagraphy on YouTube. I wanted to motivate others. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know all the answers, bro. I don't know all the
Exactly.
answers, and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
the first one to tell somebody that, hey, I'm not that technically sound when it comes to how many sensor this, how much that. I mean, I just know how to take pictures and like.
Right. Right. Yeah,
So
and that's
anyway, bro.
just, man, we can talk for hours because it's like when you say something, it puts something in my head, and now I got
Yeah.
it. Now I got to respond to it. So,
Hey, but real quick though,
Uh-huh.
you mentioned Kobe, and I have to talk to you about this for a second. You're
Okay.
a basketball fan, or are you
Yep.
just like?
No,
you're
I'm a
So
basketball fan.
you know basketball, like
Mhm.
as far as like the past teams and this and that.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, I don't have as much age as you may think I do. I'm only 34, so yes,
All right,
I can't go that far back, but yes.
I ask you this question: who do you think is the all-time greatest ever?
I'm sorry, but I'm always gonna say Kobe. That's just
Nah,
me. Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Over MJ?
Yes. 1000%.
What?
This is the
Oh,
thing.
man.
I used to debate this topic with people, but I said that once he passed, because when Kobe passed, it's two people that passed away that really affected me hard. One was Steve Jobs and one was Kobe Bryant. Steve Jobs, but the thing with Steve Jobs was I expected it because we knew he had cancer and we knew that it was coming. You know, Kobe took me by surprise because it was so sudden, you know what I mean? So once that happened, because all my friends, I don't watch football, I only watch basketball. So I just told them I got a friend that's a big Jordan fan, his name's Bill. And I said, from here on out, anytime y'all have a debate on who's the best out of Kobe and Jordan, I'm not even joining because it always takes me to a place to where I'm just like, that's Kobe,
Kobe was Jordan was just, Jordan, man. Messing around with Jordan. And back in the day when he used to play, they touched on each other's careers a little bit. He was in his way out and he was just starting. But
right.
When Jordan was there, he would play a much more physical game. But let me ask you a question, since you think Kobe's the man, the best. And I want to see if you have the right answer. Who was Kobe's biggest rival? Name the player. The player. Who was Kobe's biggest rival?
That's kind of hard.
Single play. No, think about all the playoffs. Don't think finals, because his finals were like it wasn't that big deal. I like the playoff series more. But who was his biggest rival? And he went out the same era. They came in the same era too. They're in the same era.
You think Tim Duncan?
Yeah, basketball, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
The big fundamental.
And I will say that the Spurs, they do Tim Duncan. I want to say they both got 5 rings. Tim Duncan and Kobe, I think they both got 5 rings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
One of my favorite players, Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan.
I like his. Is
that your favorite player forever, like all time?
No, Jordan. Jordan's my favorite.
Really?
Magic.
And you're from LA?
What?
You from LA and you like Jordan over Kobe?
I'm not a team guy. I don't follow teams where I live. I follow the player. I follow the player. Jordan's my number one. Second would have to be Wilt, only because he broke all these. They had to change rules because of Wilt.
Definitely. It was no shot clock back then.
So they had to do all this stuff. Dude, he averaged 100 points in one season. I don't know. Not average 100 points, but he averaged 40 or 50 points in one season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Wilt said, then Magic, Bird, Kobe's in there, Shaq, Duncan's in there, Kawhi Leonard. Current players, Kawhi Leonard is probably one of my favorite players right now playing.
So guys, it's been real.
Kawhi, baby.
We're gonna have some conversations off air, but this is gonna end up going a little bit too long. So, we're gonna do this again. Are you willing to come on again in the future?
Bro, anytime, man. I'm ready. Anytime.
Great, that's perfect. And then if y'all have anything that y'all want us to talk about, just let us know, and then we'll talk about that. So, until the next time, guys. Let me get big screen so we can see everything. Your Christmas tree, my little Christmas tree over there. That's the 6,000 subscriber Christmas tree he got, and this is the 2.9 Christmas tree that I got. It's little. It's gonna grow up a little bit.
What does Peter McKinnon's Christmas tree look like?
It's the tree that's planted in the ground. It's that one. The one when you go outside and you got to look up at it. It's that one.
Yosemite, bro. It's Yosemite.
So, all right, guys, rock and roll.
Thank you for having me, bro.